So yeah, this is the Total Recall Show. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics, and Fantastic Four Grand Design.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And today we're talking about 8-bit music, our favorite 8-bit songs.
I love 8-bit music.
I don't know if it qualifies as 8-bit, but like the music that would be in like Pac-Man or Donkey Kong.
I'm not sure, dude.
You know,
whatever it is, it's fucking great.
Because it is like, it was maybe like 10 years after the synthesizer was invented, because synthesizer was probably invented, what, like 69, 70,
yeah,
something like that. And then the video games start coming around like 79, 80.
Yeah.
And so it was this like cutting edge technology, and you'd get these amazing sounds, like the addictiveness of video games, and then the music. Like the music, you walk into an arcade and you just hear the bloop, 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 bloop.
I would go into Sideshow Pizza was my arcade, and just hearing the noises and like it was a combination of the video game noises, like pizza, people yelling,
the smell of pizza,
skee-ball. There was a lot of skee-ball.
The crack of skee-ball. Like, you think about the music, it would have it was like designed to be addictive, because it was like you'd have this deep bass, you know, because it's like they're directly programming. They're not like, you know, playing a song and recording it and playing it back. They're like directly programming the speakers.
Yes.
So it's like you get this deep bass from the woofer, and then you get this like amazing treble stuff, you know, coming out of the tweeter, you know.
Right in your feels. It's like Tom.
You know, that kind of
stuff. Holy shit.
You know, the Donkey Kong.
The tones on this are awesome. This is a great keyboard you got here.
And then so there was that, but then even before that there was the Pac-Man theme.
Dude,
you think about the people who like made this music. I wish I knew the name of it, because I know like for like Super Mario Brothers and stuff, it's like the same guy. It's like Donkey Kong, Super Mario Brothers. It was like there was this guy who was kind of like, you know, like the Mozart of Nintendo.
Yes.
You know, like I don't know how involved Shigeru Miyamoto was in the music. I'm sure he was very involved as like a creative director. But there was a guy who's like, you know, like his sort of artistic stamp is like all over, like the actual composer for this.
Yeah.
When you get to the NES era.
Oh yeah, that's like that was like.
Yeah, you like heard those songs way more times than any your favorite album, you know.
Yes!
You heard and you're like more emotionally invested in them, because like they're happening at points where you're getting tense, where you're getting frustrated, and then when you're like elated because you did the cool thing or whatever.
It's like a Pavlov's dog kind of thing.
It's very Pavlovian. So it's like I have like so much love and fondness for these things, but then it's also kind of like, oh yeah, I was kind of being like led around by the nose.
Like Nintendo would kick my ass left and right. I had trouble just beating those games, and I would like sometimes I would tag out on them because they're punishing.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like when I got to Nintendo, I was brought up on Atari, which was like way less forgiving. No continues, 3 lives. And I like even before that, I was brought up on the Odyssey 2, where you only get one life. So by the time Nintendo came, it felt very
battle hardened.
Yeah, exactly. It felt very luxurious. And then SNES was a breeze, because you had like every game had a save. And
I wish like the Castlevania themes. We loved the Zelda themes.
Like the Zelda theme of the first Zelda game was like one of the most beautiful things I'd ever heard. The first time it comes on, and then the graphics that accompany it it's this beautiful waterfall. And again, coming from grew up with Atari, Nintendo comes along, I play Super Mario Brothers, my mind is completely blown. And then a little bit later, Zelda comes along, and it's like you see this beautiful, gorgeous like waterfall graphic, and this is just the start screen. This is just this is throwaway. They didn't even need to put this in, and that beautiful music, some great stuff, and I'm sure it's referencing different classical things.
Yeah,
but it's got its own flavor.
Its own flavor, and like there's something about this. Like what the heck? Like what a genius. Tom, how are you doing? Dude, that's awesome. Oh, dude, that's fucking great. Now we're cooking with gas, baby.
these songs are a little more precise than like what we usually play. Because
You're
like,
right.
They're like, you know, we usually play sort of like chords and sing along, and you know, just knowing that it starts on C helps.
Dude, now that sounds so good. I love that. Might as well be doing Mozart, like Chopin.
Yeah,
like,
it feels like you're It feels like,
like
you're like creating weather or something. Like
Yeah.
you're doing some kind of magic. It's like, oh, my TV can do. I can't do that. My TV can do it. I loved the Zelda 1 theme, and I love Zelda 1. Like it's just such a perfect game. It's still one of my favorites. You know, this great game. But then and Zelda 2, I love Zelda 2 also, but it's not like it's a little offbeat and stuff. And it's the same with the song. This part's awesome, where it's like a falling star or something.
these tones.
But I love the music in Zelda 2, but like that opening theme doesn't quite like. You feel like you're hearing an orchestra when you hear like Zelda 1. Zelda 2, it's a little, but I do like the electronica of it, and like the music they play in the dungeons. I mean, of course, the underworld music in Zelda 1 is so amazing, but the I really like the ones in Zelda 2. It's kind of like it sounds to me like the Eurythmics' "Love Is a Stranger," which is a song we've talked about on other episodes, but it's.
Oh yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. In Super Mario 3, you go up in those wooden airships, those Bowser airships, and after you defeat the boss there, you get like a magic wand, and then the airship disappears, and you start falling to the earth, and it's like.
Dude, that hits me right in the feels. I remember
You know, as he's like falling, it's like just whoever's the composer, yeah.
It's like we salute you. I really like the music for DuckTales. I remember liking DuckTales a lot. There was one like was like the moon stage, really like.
Yeah, those Capcom games like Mega Man had really good music. Mega Man 3, I remember, had like really good music.
And I liked yeah, you're right. Capcom, like Street Fighter Guile's theme. I love Guile's theme. Who can forget Mario? I think Mario might be in C. Tom,
kind of like circus music. When you leave the sustain on, it's like it's NES. But if you take the sustain off, then it's Atari. One Atari game was like.
That feels just like an Atari.
I remember we were talking about Mikey, that arcade game that actually had Beatles songs in it.
Dude, this sounds so good. That sustain is awesome.
How great is?
That sounds so good.
And it's like it's so magical, and it's just like a descending scale. You're just doing like scales, just a descending C major scale, but.
And he's falling down.
Yeah, he's falling. So like the clouds are going by, and the clouds are kind of like staggered. It's like a parallax. We're talking about 8-bit music now. I heard that you have some kind of like 8-bit music related project.
Yes, I have a group. We're called Speedrun. Me and my two buddies, Don and Kevin, and we did a little project called Melody Quest. It was a original soundtrack that we did for a game that we made, and in the process, the guys from Ozma kind of like play tested that a little bit, and they had connected with some guys from my group, and before you know it, we're working with them like to make a 8-bit greatest hits album with them, and it wasn't just us. There was a whole team of like musicians. It was our group Speedrun, me, Don, and Kevin. Another great musician named Foof, and another great musician named Morgan, who records under a name, I think, Nostalgic Cassette City. Was
this like a like pandemic project or something that you or
this? You know what? It was going on for a long time. Yeah. Right now, it kind of like I lost track of how long we were at it. It went from like 0 to 60 pretty quick. Like me, Don, and Kevin worked on 2 tracks on the album. One's called Domino Effect and one's called Eponine. And Don got to work with Foof on other tracks, and he did some solo tracks on there like Wake Up. But it's exclusively on Bandcamp right now.
Okay.
It's only going to be on Bandcamp. It's on Ozma's Bandcamp, and I believe it's ozmamusic.bandcamp.com.
Okay, and we'll have the links below this video in the show notes. We'll have it in the show notes, and then I imagine it's also on your link tree, which is in our show notes too.
I haven't put it on there yet, but
Okay.
I'm just about. It'll be on my link tree.
It's on Ozma's Bandcamp. How are the funds dispersed? Like what? Like a Motown deal or like a Chess Records deal or something?
It's a fair disbursement on there.
Like I'm not on this. Don't worry, folks. I'm not on this. You know, you heard a little bit of my keyboard stylings. I'm not on that album. Rest assured, you're safe in purchasing the album. I'm not on it.
You'll want to go on the Bandcamp. We used this thing called LMMS, and it's like it's good for like synthesizers and like beats and patches and whatnot. And there was a thing called Nescaline. It was like a little module in it that it reproduces like the sounds of the NES. It's called Greatest Bits Volume 1, Ozma's Greatest Hits, and the group Speedrun. I worked on 2 of the tracks with the guys, and Dawn worked on a couple others with Foof. Shout out to Foof and Morgan and Daniel from Ozma for mastering it. So it's really cool. It's like 8-bit throwback, and be on the lookout.
Covers.
Covering Ozma's songs.
Oh, okay.
So it's all Ozma's music, but like 8-bitified.
Okay, cool.
And chiptunified. My old band Speedrun, we were called Press Start back in the day. We did play the Zelda theme live.
That's
So
part of your set.
as part of our set, we played Zelda and Mario.
I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics, and Fantastic Four Grand Design.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And you've been watching the 8-bit music episode of the Total Recall show.
See you later.